voice that is both rugged and sweet, Mary J gives you both heartache and happiness in a single musical phrase. A true confessional singer, her emotional honesty is in keeping with the great traditions of blues and soul, as well as hip-hop, keeping it very real and in your face, and luring devoted fans around the world who relate to and appreciate Mary's unique vocal stylings for more than a decade now. Mary J. Blige has never failed to deliver. Every album, music video, and live performance has electrified and inspired. From her double platinum debut album, What's the 411, in 1992, to her latest masterpiece, Love and Life, Mary J. has triumphed. But the road hasn't been an easy one. For every high, there's been a few lows. Mary J. Blige, the reigning queen of hip-hop soul. Mary J. Blige was born on January 11, 1971 in the Bronx, New York, and spent her early childhood in Savannah, Georgia. When she was just 4 years old, her father, a professional bass player, taught her to sing the notes of the musical staff. But as fate would have it, her father didn't stick around to see how the fruits of his labor would soon pay off. He left her mother, Cora, a nurse, to raise Mary and older sister LaTanya alone. So when Mary was just 5, Cora moved them back to New York and into a public housing development in Yonkers. Cora tried to keep her girls busy so they wouldn't get into any trouble. And by age 7, Mary was singing in the choir at the House of Prayer Pentecostal Church with her mother and sister. The influence of gospel and her mother's favorites like Aretha Franklin, Dinah Washington, and Shaka Khan is apparent in her music to this day. As she grew older, she stayed very active singing in her community, becoming an accomplished soloist in the church choir as well as school choirs up until she dropped out in the 11th grade, a decision that haunted her for years. Mary explains that she was rebellious. She didn't want to go to school. She got to the 11th grade and she just couldn't deal with it. She would fight all the time, girls and boys. That same year, at 17, Mary and her friends made a recording at a karaoke-style booth while hanging out at the mall. Blige's rendition of Anita Baker's Rapture was passed among friends and family and eventually ended up on the desk of Andre Harrell, the CEO of Uptown Records, brought there by recording artist Jeff Redd. With 10 years of professional experience in the music business, Jeff had done it all and was credited with top 20 singles like I Found Lovin' and Love High. Redd's contribution of the single, You Called and Told Me, to the soundtrack of Andre's movie, Strictly Business, became the classic summer jam of 1991 and a New York #1 hit. But even prior to his personal success, he had already demonstrated his skills at spotting talent and having a finger on the pulse of musical trends. When female duo Changing Faces was unheard of, it was Redd that recruited them to sing background for him. So when Jeff submitted the demo of a young, unknown Mary J. Blige to Andre Harrell, the CEO knew to act on it immediately. And at the tender age of 21, Mary signed her first deal with Uptown Records, where she met her co-manager, producer, and mentor, Sean Puffy Combs, now known as P. Diddy.
Look, Puffy or Diddy Pop, Papa Diddy, Diddy Pot Pie, I don't know what your name is today. Sure it's changed. Puffy Magic Diddy, I don't know what it is. Sure it's changed a couple times since I saw you last time. Hey, I feel name change coming on right now. Oh, name change. Sounds good.
And in 1992, they released her first album, What's the 411, with the hit single, Real Love.
I'm Looking for a Real Love was a very impactful song. You heard a female singing in a hip-hop manner, and you heard her relay and touch people in a way that they hadn't done from that genre.
It was just something about the groove of that joint. Real love, I'm searching for real love, someone to make. That was just this. That was my joint right there.
But Mary J. has admitted that Jeff Redd is the man who put her on the map. In an article on Jeff in the New York Beacon, Mary is quoted saying, "Good looking out, Jeff. You the man." She owes all of her success to Jeff Redd. He brought her into the Uptown family. A lot of times, people don't want to help you out of fear that you would take away from their spotlight. But Jeff put her on and was happy for her when she started to blow up. She loves him and will always remember his kindness to her. He'll always be #1 in her charts. Jeff left the spotlight and became a producer for artists like Casey and JoJo, Regina Belle, SWV, and Bobby Brown, just to name a few. Mary J's raw talent could not be denied.
She's a very talented young lady that happened to come into the business at the right time when hip-hop was on the rise still, and she provided a whole new sound. She incorporated R&B into the whole rap element. What I mean by that is the sounds are of an urban nature, and she adds soulful melodies to them.
And she was a mega success right out the box. She was the first woman to break into the male-dominated world of New Jack Swing, and the first singer of either sex to successfully combine R&B and hip-hop, like What's the 411, with its unique sound and production, captured the world's attention and curiosity.
She had a big impact on us because, I mean, it was just this young, you know, innovative, little, basically hood rat kind of a girl, you know, stepping out with, you know, real love, and she was real hard, she was real tomboyish, but it was something about her that you can tell that she was a superstar in the making.
Hip-hop was in a transitional kind of phase, and she came in and offered a bright new take on hip-hop. And I guess that's why today she's labeled the queen of hip-hop, because she kind of like started that whole connection between R&B and hip-hop.
It's crazy, Mary. Your style is just crazy. You still come with bangers, but then the lyrics is still R&B, so it's like, yo, you earn your name.
You tell it like it is.
I love your music, what you do.
And you talk about deep things in your heart.
It's more like a gospel when she sings, because it's coming through her heart and it's going through my soul.
You just keep it real.
And you the realest out there.
She sing from the heart,
Why you
man.
think I'm here out here?
It's soul.
With my cold, just got over the flu. Just over the flu.
For Mary,
right
man.
over the flow for Mary.
And it's still ain't started yet.
R. Kelly did it for love. We did it for Mary.
The first time I heard of Mary J. Blige, I heard of Mary J. Blige from What's the 411 album. And at that time, I think Keith Sweat was out, and he was like Mr. Hip-Hop of R&B, and she was like the queen of hip-hop R&B.
I love your music. I remember when I used to come home from school, I used to have my headphones on and just listen to your music from, you know what I'm saying, my Walkman.
Man, back to the You Remind Me days, man, because the tracks were so hard, man, but I mean, the lyrics are so crazy, and on a crazy rap track, it was bananas, man. So you had no other choice but to listen to what you think, man.
I remember I was like 13, 14 years old listening to your music.
Tell them the song that you kept playing over and over again in the car when you met me.
You gotta believe, you know, you gotta believe.
My favorite album was her very first album because she had a song on there that was really inspirational.
It's a lot of songs that I like.
What was the name of it?
I don't remember.
It was the one with when she was talking about the dude and the girl, and it came over, it had the...
How can I love somebody else? And if I can't love someone to know from no, if it's...
You have to get the slow dance.
It's messing up, I'm sorry.
Oh, I got it. Monday, a friend of mine. Tuesday, we played a game. Wednesday.
I used to be vibing on that like this. Like.
Ever since that first album, I've been a fan.
It took many hours and it hurted really bad, and that was my last tattoo after that. I would fax it to her. And when I'm gonna get her today, I'm gonna show her and I'm gonna let her know I'm a diehard fan. I don't have a t-shirt, that don't last forever. This is gonna last forever. It's me and her forever. #1 fan.
We coming about an hour away to come see you, you know what I'm saying, because we true fans.
My first time seeing her live, man, so I'm in for a real good treat out here, man. That's
second, baby.
My wife, she had a video on you, and she used to watch it all the time.
All the women I've talked to, they say like coming to a Mary concert is like a revival. They say it's like a church revival. They come back and feel proud to be a woman.
I can relate to her that way.
Every man needs a strong woman in his life, so it's like, yo, we need that because she feed our women, and when they feed us, that's what's up, you know what I'm saying? So it's a chain reaction, we need that.
As a woman, I just want to commend Mary J. Blige for staying real and telling it like it is, and through her trials and tribulations, how she's made and put that out in her music to share her experience, her personal experiences with women, and it's only made us stronger women.
Thank you just for feeding our women with wisdom and so much knowledge and so much strength, because that strength they feed us.
And that's why women today are where we are, because of people like Mary J. Blige keeping it real.
Mary, some of the trials and tribulations that you've been through as far as, you know, drugs, bad relationships, I can understand that.
I can relate because I was going through some rough times myself.
When she went through her problems, it was, I mean, you thought maybe she had fell off or she was slipping, but...
And you kept pumping out your feelings, and you dealt with your personal issues as far as your father is concerned, getting to know him, creating and having a relationship with your father. That's a beautiful thing.
Everybody goes through problems, you know what I'm saying? She's human.
She's just been like a testimony, you know what I'm saying? And she's been an example how you can get out of struggles.
I knew that she was still strong and that she would bounce back because I had faith in her, and I knew that she was a strong person.
It made you, it didn't break you. You stayed strong and you kept pumping out those hits.
She gonna be out forever.
She didn't come and go. She's out there still making albums and doing a good job of it.
You make history since what it was, like 93 almost?
Yeah.
I mean, this is 2003. We're going on 10 years.
So you don't see very many stick around, and it goes to show she's got it.
Your music will never die. It's going to go down like Aretha, Anita. You know what I mean? You're going to go down like with all of the divas in this world.
Whatever you want to imagine, man, you can do it, Mary.
Diva.
That's what's up. That's
Diva.
what's up. You know what's cracking,
Diva.
Mary. That's what's up, man.
You are the diva of this generation, and I don't care what nobody say, the Ashantis, the Beyoncés, whatever. They ain't got nothing on you.
You're just so real.
There's nobody better than you, Mary.
Nothing like
Mary
it,
J,
man.
listen, man,
like
you
That's
know
the
what's
OG
good.
homegirl,
That's
man,
what's
with
up.
the soulful groove.
That's
They
real,
coming
man.
from her.
They just put
compare
it like
a
this.
song to one of her hit songs, if anything.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce, she's a beautiful woman, but Mary is more beautiful because she's coming from the heart.
She realer than any one of these R&B women out there.
It don't compare, man. You don't listen. You don't hear that from no other artist, and that's real. This is uncut right here, man. Yo, that you don't hear that from no other artist. It don't compare, man.
Because ain't nobody in this era right now, as far as women, as far as hip hop, I don't care whatever they try to put around it. You are the best.
You're the original.
A woman of her own status.
If she was here right now, I would just want to pray with her. I would just want to hold her hand and thank her.
I give you a hug, man, because you deserve that, man. That's what's up, man.
You're just a blessing.
I really don't have the words to say, you know what I'm saying, what you've done in my life.
We just want to thank you.
Thank you.
I love Mary J.
Mary, much love, baby. Peace.
Mary J. Blige was a star, but was she ready? From the start, Blige did not wear the mantle of fame easily. Too shy to look directly at questioners or cameras during interviews, she wore low-slung baseball caps and was often evasive. She accused reporters of asking stupid questions, to which she either responded nastily or refused to answer altogether. And not to mention reports of her excessive drinking and drug abuse led the media to depict her as a bad girl, a title she resented them for. The low point came when her conversation with Veronica Webb for Interview magazine reportedly nearly came to blows. In the media, she was marked, and in life, she was increasingly unhappy. Mary told Vibe she went through a period when she didn't care about her, so what the world thought was irrelevant.
This rumor has it that Mary had the worst attitude, that she was a and that like back in 92 or 93, you know, she almost got into a fist fight with Ebony magazine representative. And it's just like, you know, they labeled her, and it was just like, you know, she's just a spoiled ass whatever, you know.
As far as like painting Mary as this bad girl, I think a lot of it had to do with Mary, because I personally remember years ago that I asked her a question at some press junket, and she snapped back at me like, "Psh, don't be asking me no shit like that." I mean, and a lot of people were like, "Hey, whoa, okay." And I think Mary has always given us the real her. So if you was seeing her like in a bad girl light, at one point she was a bad girl and didn't give a what you thought.
That part of Mary, I don't think I wanted to see. The Mary that I wanted to see was just that raw talent standing before me singing, and I can rock to at concerts, and I don't think that it probably helped her career only by her growing out of something like that.
Well, I think the media, as always, their job is to sell records or sell papers, sell newspaper, generate subscribers. So obviously, as most of us in the industry know, it's not a reflection of really how she is. Maybe after a while you keep on catching that from people, you keep on having people tell you about it or ask you about it, I'm pretty soon going to snap myself and become that, you know. And I think that was a great deal of what happened with her, is that the media creates a monster, and after a while you just say, you know what, I'm not going to fight that monster anymore. I'm going to let you know yeah, I am like that. So I think those of us who know her or worked with her or had a chance to really cross her path really recognize that she's just another sister out here struggling, working, trying to achieve and obtain the same goals and objectives all of us are. And, you know, the media has a great appetite for taking and devouring those of us who are trying to succeed. And I think that was a good reflection of it. And she just, as a matter of fact, reflected it back at them, you know, what they were trying to put out there. So I think that the media had a lot to do with the negative impact of her image, and I don't think it was reflective of what type of person she is, really.
By 1993, Andre Harrell realized that something had to be done to prevent Mary from destroying her career. And with his encouragement, she enrolled in a 24-week development class taught by Angelo Ellerby of Double Exposure, a public relations firm. Ellerby's course was designed to coach performers on interviewing techniques, etiquette, diction, and personal finance. Blige, who was well known for her highbrow conflicts in her early career, evolved into diva status, a woman filled with confidence who has learned to be a professional thanks in part to Ellerby. What's the 411 became a top 10 smash hit, spawning additional singles like Reminisce and Love's No Limit, as well as the classic remake of Shaka Khan's Sweet Thing. In 1993, Mary began to rule the airwaves, and the awards were just rolling in as well. 2 Soul Train Awards for Best New Artist and Best Single Female for Real Love, a Source Award, and an American Music Award nomination. That year, she also released a remix album, What's the 411, one of the first of its kind. It was all about Mary. But Mary wasn't all about it. Mary goes on to explain that she always wanted to sing so that she could make a little extra money to get clothes and stuff. But she never imagined all this.
She could go and flip a joint with Busta Rhymes. She could go flip a joint with Eve or with Jay-Z or somebody like that. And it feels right. It feels right when she does it. And I can't say the same about other R&B female vocalists. It seems like that's just something that they're trying to do, just incorporate. It's like hand in glove with Mary J.
And believe her, this is a tough business. People just don't realize it. But being in this business can take its toll on you. Because so many people are pulling you to do this or that. Sometimes you just want to go to the mall. That's where she'd rather be most of the time. Blige's reputation had not yet improved when she released her follow-up album, My Life, in 1994. It echoed many of Mary's earlier influences from Stevie Wonder to Gladys Knight, while always remaining true to her hip-hop roots.
Aretha Franklin was one of Mary's favorite singers. Can I hear Aretha in Mary? Most definitely. Most definitely. I hear the power behind the voice, lyrical content, the soulfulness, Stevie Wonder. I mean, all of those singers, you can hear it when you listen to her music, when you listen to her singing. You can tell that she feels what she sings. And those artists, those great artists like Aretha and Stevie and Phyllis Hyman and artists like that, you know they felt it. Donny Hathaway.
The album reflected extraordinary self-confidence and artistic growth. With Mary having co-written most of the songs, Mary was an international success and toured the world. In Japan, Mary was just amazed to find scores of fans showing up at her concerts dressed in what only can be called uniquely MJB fashion. She had also become an icon. Worldwide, she would be imitated and scrutinized, for better or worse. That year, she also became involved in a much-publicized on and off relationship with fellow Uptown artist Casey Haley of the band Jodeci. The ups and downs of their love life were just constantly in the gossip columns, both known for their excessive partying, alcohol, and drug abuse. Together, they created drama and wreaked havoc on their lives. At the early age of 16, Mary was introduced to drugs while partying on the New York club scene. In an Ebony magazine interview, Mary confessed, "It was all fun at first, but soon it became something she needed to be who she was. It made her forget about things for the moment, but the next day, it was 7 times worse. Everything she was running from was still there." And now, by this point, at age 23, Mary had reached a point where she had no self-esteem. Mary explains she didn't give a damn about her because she was destroying her body with different substances. And the real deal is that it doesn't feel good. It consumes your brain cells, it consumes your body, and if you don't quit it, it can kill you. You'll die. But it was a while before Mary would heed her own advice, doing a variety of drugs whenever the mood hit her, at recording sessions, at home, at parties, day or night. It almost took her dying to realize how important her life really is. And when her idol, songbird Phyllis Hyman's suicide from a drug overdose in 1995 made the headlines, it had a dramatic effect on Mary. That day she said, she's not doing this anymore.
You can tell that Mary's been through a lot.
I definitely think that all the stuff that she went through with the drug abuse, the mental and physical abuse of others, I think that definitely played a part in her development and her growth, as it does all of us.
After that, Mary developed a new attitude and began to look to God and family for help. My Life soon reached triple platinum status, and she won the title as the Queen of Hip Hop Soul. Blige and her family had been much more involved in the production of that album than they had the first, which helped Mary to put her life in perspective. Family will tell you when you're doing wrong, no matter how famous you are, and that's a good thing. Her sister LaTanya sang background vocals on 5 tracks, and Blige herself co-wrote most of the songs, fueling speculations that the album was partly autobiographical. Blige, however, denied. The songs were a window into her life. My Life is not autobiographical, it's just music.
Even though she said it wasn't, and even though she, for publicity reasons maybe didn't refer to it, it was obvious to those of us who understood pain, understood suffering, that this was a reflection of things that she was going through.
She's always shared her struggles with us, She shared her life with us. And what's so beautiful about Mary is that she didn't have a problem doing that, knowing that a lot of us go through the very same thing that she goes through. And I'm so glad that she was woman enough to address those issues without regret.
I know she feels blessed for the opportunity to express it through music. You know, that's the blessing. A lot of people don't get to express their pains and sorrows, the heartaches they go through. So I think that Mary really, she reflects that. She has a great, she knows the vehicle in which she has in front of her that helps her express herself and helps her grow as a person.
I think Mary's life has been an open book. I think a lot of her personal life experience is reflected through her music.
It's just music. Every single day is what her album is about. Every time you see couples, that's what her album is about. It's about making love, finding yourself, being happy with yourself. 1995 proved to be a pivotal year for Mary. After Andre Harrell left Uptown to become CEO of Motown, Mary signed with Hank Shockley of MCA Records. She also parted ways with P. Diddy, became her own executive producer, and found new managers. And to top it all off, she broke off her volatile relationship with KC. It was time to clean house, and Mary's was brand new. 1996 proved that change could be a good thing. Mary was also nominated for a Grammy Award for Not Gon' Cry, the hit song from the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack, and won a Grammy for Best Rap Performance by a Duo for You're All I Need to Get By with Method Man. Share My World, Mary's third album, debuted at #1 in early '97. It purged her emotionally crippled past with songs of hope, love, and freedom.
She grew up so much.
You definitely see the growth and the maturity in her music and record making.
She has the most inspiring voice for a young black artist.
Listeners got to know an unmasked Blige, a singer who showed her wide vocal range, not one molded in Diddy's one-dimensional image. Mary sings soul from the soul, and if a singer's vocals are as important as the words conveyed, then it's obvious that Blige did the right thing when she decided to crawl out of the 90s brand of R&B full of over-familiar samples and 2-for-1 beats. Instead, Mary crisscrossed the country, working with some of the best producers on the planet, like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Babyface, R. Kelly, Malik Pendleton, and Rodney Jerkins, which accounts for the album's rich diversity, Mary explains. She did what she wanted to do this time. And if you think about it, most people in the music industry don't work with the same people their whole lives. How are you gonna grow if you stay with the same people? She needed to branch out and work with other producers so her visions could come to life. And she was right. Share My World was named Best R&B Album of the Year at the American Music Awards, was nominated for numerous Grammy and Soul Train Awards, and topped the Billboard 200 album charts for 4 weeks in a row. By the end of '97, it was certified double platinum, with several of its singles making the top 40 and top 10 lists. From the opening notes of the deliciously upbeat debut single, Love Is All We Need, performed with Nas and produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Mary raises her battle cry. It's the essence coming from herself, because we need self-love too. Ballads like the tender Everything or the slinky, jazzy Share My World shows off Mary's new level of expression. I Can Love You, featuring Lil' Kim, plays a common theme of Mary's, which is finding balance in love. 7 Days weaves a simple children's rhyme into a sophisticated tale of love and longing, while Missing You recounts a lonely lover's wish list for a perfect romance. One of the album's best songs, the hip-hop ballad Searching, is all about self-discovery, a journey Mary herself has undertaken in recent years. People get scared when they hear something they don't understand, Mary explains. She's learning how to handle things even if she has to scream and cry, even if it kills her. She just can't run anymore. That's the only way you're gonna be happy and deal with yourself. Working with so many producers might have proved daunting to some, but Mary had the time of her life. Mary goes on to say, It was a blessing to work with people like Babyface or Jimmy and Terry. Sometimes it's better for her to be in a new and uncomfortable situation because she'll work harder, she explains. As for her songwriting, Mary agrees that she has only gotten better. Writing is a healing process for her. She writes from the heart, and anything from the heart has got to be real.
In the record-making public, I think, and in our circle, I think we really do applaud people who are able to really put their feelings on the record and portray them to other people, because that's what makes hit records.
Share My World was the beginning of a new and more focused Mary, a happier, more confident Mary, a woman at peace with her past and optimistic about the journey that lay ahead of her. She's a lady now, she told Ebony magazine. With growing up comes a lot of responsibilities. She knows there are a lot of things she has to do, and there are a lot of things she can't do anymore. At least try to make things on time. That's the mature Mary, realizing that if she stands somebody up for an interview, it's not for them, it's for her. They're gonna get paid. It's a more responsible Mary who wants the best for her. She wants to challenge herself more to see what comes out of it. Patience is a virtue for her now. With Mary playing up her new attitude toward the music business and her personal life in interviews, claiming to have found self-love. For that reason and others, Mary's career prospered. In January of '98, she crossed over into acting and had a guest spot on The Jamie Foxx Show, playing a preacher's daughter who wants to sing R&B, and in July, she released a well-received live album called The Tour. It was recorded at Mary's performance at the Universal Amphitheater. She never headlined before, so she said, let's capture it. It was a real good year for her, so she wanted to show that. The result is a live recording of one of Blige's most electrifying shows. In addition to her own mega hits, she does live covers of Aretha Franklin's Daydreaming and soul and gospel singer Dorothy Moore's Misty Blue.
She's done a lot of cover songs. And if we go back through those cover songs, I bet you every one of them will reflect admiration for the artist or the person who did it.
Now, for those two songs alone, the album is definitely a collector's item. Blige goes on to say that those are both songs that her mother just loved. Mary explains she remembers hearing both songs a lot when she was a kid, and so both songs were influential to her as a singer.
I think it's real obvious in a lot of the song choices that Mary has chosen to record over the years. I think that's reflective of her paying homage to her idols.
Paul Campbell of Global Marketing at Seagram's America was quoted saying, Seagram's Gin was pleased to join Mary J. Blige in her first national tour. It was one of the most exciting of the season.
I had the great pleasure and great blessing of being employed and being able to work alongside Mary J. Blige during the Mary Tour as a programmer and drum technician. So I had the great honor of every night seeing a real professional. A lot of people maybe thought that Mary J. Blige was manufactured or a studio-created image or a studio-created artist. I'm a person standing right here who takes great pride and really is impressed by real entertainers and real musicians, and I saw a person go out every night, night after night. We did 52 cities and 65 nights, and every night Mary J. Blige hit the stage. She gave 110%. She, on tired nights, on days she wasn't having a great day, or days when the media and all the other things that we've talked about, which are our regular life situations, were taking place. And at the end of the day, when she came to work, the fans got 150% every night.
Mary's artistic talents are unparalleled, and when one looks at her career in retrospect, it is obvious that she has grown tremendously. Her music has evolved over the urban scene from the midst of the hip-hop explosion to the more mature R&B. In addition to Mary taking time to bolster the self-esteem of young fans, she has decided with this, her first solo national tour, to donate a portion of the ticket receipts to 100 Black Men, a nationwide organization with the mission of improving the quality of life for African Americans and other minorities. 100 Black Men turned out to be the perfect to marry a community need with Mary's talent for giving. In '98, Mary also decided to try her own hand at the music business and formed her own label, Mary Jane Entertainment. The label features artists from the worlds of R&B and rap on its roster and was born out of Mary's frustration with her own inability to foster the careers of artists she discovers. She discovered, then bought the locks to megastar rap producer P. Diddy after being unable to find an outlet for them on her own. She didn't have anywhere for them to go, Mary explains. She wished she could have brought them with her, but she's really happy for the success they found with Diddy. She is working with a variety of artists, getting them groomed and ready for the challenges that lay ahead of them. Challenges Mary can give first-hand advice on. As of yet, no artists have been released on Mary's label. By year's end, the tour was certified gold. Mary performed on another Terry McMillan's movie soundtracks, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, with the track Beautiful. She also spiced up DMX's hit album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood, singing on the track Coming From. All in all, 98 was a very good year for Mary and a sign of the mega success to come. At the 1999 Grammy Awards, Mary was nominated for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group for Lean On Me, a song she did with Kirk Franklin and the Family, R. Kelly, U2, and Krista Lewis from Franklin's New Nation Project. And Mary got another chance to flex her acting muscles on the cable TV show Strong Medicine. In a flashback episode, Mary tackles the role of Bo Peeps, the lead singer of a hip-hop R&B band and romantic interest of one of the show's main characters, Peter Riggs. Riggs plays bass in the band. By May, Share My World was certified triple platinum, and in August, Mary was ready to drop her new LP entitled simply, Mary. It featured tracks with Aretha Franklin, Lauryn Hill, Eric Clapton, Nas, X-Bo, KC and JoJo, and Elton John. Mary debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Pop charts and at number 1 on the R&B charts for 3 weeks.
I just feel honored, first of all, because I have people looking at me, wanting to be on the record. So I just feel like, oh my God, you know, is this what you've been telling me to wait for when so many doors have been closed in my face? He said, wait. He said, wait, I got something for you, and then this is it, you know.
First single was a top 40 hit, All That I Can Say, written and produced by Lauryn Hill.
All that I can say is when I first heard this song, I felt like I was on a magic carpet. I was in Stevie Wonderland for I just was everywhere that I was when I was little. And I said, I don't know where Lauren's head is right now, but I love where her head is because it takes us back to where we were when we were small. And I was so happy to be a part of her project.
Well, and I'm so happy to be a part of her project. My sister.
Another track, Time, addressed current issues in the inner city. Mary explains, in the ghettos, there's a lot of people dying every day. People getting shot for no apparent reason. People gambling in the hallways and getting killed. When she was living in Yonkers, someone got shot over a dime bag. Time is for the inner cities. There's not enough room in the hospital to take care of people, and nobody wants to fix up the buildings for the bums. She goes on to say, you should try to work toward doing the right thing because you could be gone tomorrow. Her newfound attitude is evident on her album, Mary. Blige said it was a start toward becoming a better person. She goes on to say she was looking to finally close the book on a lot of situations and open a new book and a new door to draw the right things and get rid of the wrong things. Part of the process involved inviting artists she respected to record with her. Blige says it shocked her that Aretha Franklin would want to work with her on her project because she's just a little girl compared to the time she's had in the music business. In addition to a late 70s, early 80s feeling that appealed to various audiences, Mary offered classic songs like Deep Inside featuring Elton John. It's the first time she's ever been able to say something good about her work. For some reason, she thinks this one was so original and had so much original work on it. It just impresses her that she could ever deliver an album like this. She's impressed herself. She's saying it because she's so thankful to God that He gave her the ability. The single Not Looking was originally meant to be sung with Blackstreet, but when the collaboration didn't pan out, there was nowhere else to look but to KC. He was by far the best choice. but it would be a test for Mary to be able to work with her ex-boyfriend. Fortunately, it turned out to be a success, and there was no drama to be reported. Blige also had the honor of performing at a benefit concert at the White House with a host of other musical celebs. Mary explains she's never been nervous in her life before, but she was kind of nervous about meeting the president, but Clinton is mad cool. He struck her as being a very regular person, not all stuffy. Mary explains she can't speak on his personal life, but just as a person, he's very nice. Even with her celebrity status, Mary remained single, and it wasn't out of choice. Exasperated, Mary explains men can't get in her space right now. She doesn't know what it is, but it just won't happen. And she's not pushing them away. She's there, trying to be there. Is it her? Who is she as a woman? She just doesn't know. Maybe it's all for the better. Maybe she needs to focus on Mary J. Blige right now, and not a man. But that's not to say Mary hasn't got her romantic fantasies. But for now, she worked on improving Mary. All year, Mary was on a caveman diet, as she calls it. She works out, eats no carbohydrates, and drinks lots of water to flush her out. But a lot of it is mental too. Once you take a lot of stress off, you automatically lose some pounds. She gets her crunches in every night, and she really wants to be fine. Over the course of the year, she has shed about 30 pounds and has taken her physical fitness very seriously. Mary explains she feels like it's part of who she is to make her look nice, and she wants to look better, and it's in making her feel better too. For the first time in her career, Mary began looking at the big picture, the overall package. She went into this album with no fear, like there's nothing she can't conquer on here, and she thinks she broke down the walls. That's how her life is now. She's walking without fear, and if there are mistakes to be made, she'll make them, learn from them, and keep going. In keeping her newfound courage and confidence, Mary began studying for her GED, and without a doubt, she will conquer this too. In October, Mary made her film debut in Prison Song, a movie about fighting police brutality. Q-Tip co-wrote the script with the film's director, Darnell Martin. Blige plays a character whose husband was a victim of police brutality and who fights to save her son from the same injustice. Q-Tip also stars, and Robert De Niro produced. The film didn't do too well, but Mary's performance was well received. By year's end, Mary was certified platinum. Mary J was nominated for 2 MTV Europe Music Awards for Best Video and Best Song for As with George Michael. She also made the MTV 100 Greatest Videos Ever Made for You're All I Need to Get By with Method Man.
She's multi-platinum selling artist. She's Grammy nominated, Grammy winner, Soul Train winner, any award that is possible. I'm sure she has had the opportunity to participate in it. So with that, that creates a lot of expectations for other people coming up behind them, trying to consider themselves a queen of soul, the queen of hip hop, the queen of anything, as a matter of fact, because she has done it again. Here we go, we're talking about 10, 12 years later, and she's still working and still making the impact, and that's rather impressive.
Mary ended the year by taking part in Net Aid and was honored with the 1999 Heroes Award by the RIAA. With all the accolades, Mary is still grounded and in the community from when she came. Backstage at the Soul Train Music Awards, Mary spoke forcefully about her lifelong allegiance to hip-hop because she grew up on it. Just like the church, just like God, it's something that you might go astray, but you always remember where you came from. Mary came into the new millennium with a bang. She was nominated for a Brit Award, 3 Grammy Awards, and won a Soul Train Award for Best R&B Soul Album for Mary. And Give Me You hit the top 40. But Mary wasn't content to just reap awards. She wanted to give back as well. She teamed with Lil' Kim to serve as a spokesperson for MAC Cosmetics' Viva Glam 3 lipstick campaign. The company donates all proceeds from the sales of the lipstick to the MAC AIDS Fund, which has raised $14 million since 1994 for medical care and support for people with AIDS and HIV. Mary also made a television and radio spot for the Partnership for a Drug-Free America, in which she talked about her past substance abuse to discourage the youth from using drugs. Blige also lent her support to Baby Buggy, a nonprofit organization founded by Jessica Seinfeld, wife of famed Jerry Seinfeld, designed to assist women that are not so fortunate with their babies' needs and women in need, another nonprofit organization which serves more than 4,000 homeless and disadvantaged women and children each year. She invited these women to her concert at the Apollo Theater in Harlem. And before the show, she personally met, swapped emotional embraces, cried with, and helped inspire the women to stay on course. It was a night of entertainment and inspiration these women will never forget, and neither will Mary. And in recognition of her charitable works, Mary received a Brick Award, which is given annually to community leaders under the age of 30. In August, Mary unveiled her own fashion line at the Magic International Fashion Show in Las Vegas. The line features sportswear for women and men, including baby tees, t-shirts, dresses, and tank tops. That summer, she also teamed up with the comic book creator Stan Lee on a cartoon for not only her tour opening sequence, but also as an internet-based series. Blige will lend her voice and contribute story ideas to webisodes, which will depict the award-winning singer as a fantasy superhero. The end of 2000 had Mary's Your Child off the now double platinum Mary album, #1 on the Billboard Dance Chart, and 911, her duet with Wyclef Jean, climbing the top 40. Awards, awards, and more awards. 2001 was no exception. Mary received the Rock the Vote Patrick Lippert Award for her work with charity organizations, was nominated for a Grammy for 911, a Soul Train Award for Your Child, and won a BET Award for Best Female R&B Artist. Mary's next album, No More Drama, was released in August and topped the Billboard Hot R&B chart for 2 weeks. By October, it was certified platinum, and the single, Family Affair, hit the top 10 for 4 weeks. No More Drama celebrates life. When songwriters and producers Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis played No More Drama for Mary, she knew the song was written specifically for her. She could relate to the song's lyrics. No more drama, no more game, no more tears, no more fears. As the young and the restless soap opera music plays in the background, the song seemed to chronicle her life, surviving on the celebrity diet of alcohol, drugs, late night parties, and men. Mary still looked and sounded great, but she was being eaten up inside, and no one seemed to notice. It took meeting her boyfriend, Kendu Isaacs, for Mary to realize she had a problem. Without putting her down, he started putting the questions to her. He asked her if having a good time and getting high was all that mattered to her. It made her think. Mary explains, it made her feel like shit. Like, damn, is this all I do? And no matter how much she fought it, she realized how ignorant and prideful she had been. He didn't put her down, not once. She realized she was putting herself down every time she picked up liquor, every time she picked up cocaine. Kendu helped Mary restructure her priorities and realize her relationship with God is what's most important in life, especially in light of the September 11th terrorist attacks. As Mary fights to resist the temptations of her past, she spends more time focusing on more uplifting things, like her visit to Southern California high schools to talk to students and learning to play the piano and guitar. Mary explains she already got her first No More Drama and The Young and the Restless keys down. She's learning some of Al Green on the guitar, but she's just setting herself up for the tour. If she learns, that's cool. If she don't, that's cool too. She looks at it like second nature and not as learning something. In January of 2002, No More Drama hit the top 40, and Mary was nominated for an American Music Award and 2 Grammy Awards. She released a repackaged version of No More Drama with bonus tracks and kicked off a U.S. tour in February. Mary also teamed back up with P. Diddy for the remixes on No More Drama. Diddy and Mary parted ways shortly after the release of My Life. The separation Mary now admits was fueled by her need to be the only female singer that Diddy was working with. P. Diddy had been fired from his post at Uptown Records and was totally engulfed in getting his new Bad Boy Entertainment label off the ground. One of the first acts he signed was singer-songwriter Faith Evans. Now that they have buried the hatchet, Mary is glad to have her old friend back in the studio with her. No More Drama was topping all the charts in 2002.
You know, I mean, Mary's been around for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Album after album after album, and she continues to grow, and she continues to be that artist that we expect something hot and new from, and every time she comes through.
Mary is just a living testament that you can achieve your dreams, no matter what background you come from, no matter what you've been through.
As the younger people to come up, I think they're using Mary J. Blige as a guideline, using Mary J. Blige as a measuring stick, and using her experiences for betterment in their careers and whatnot. So I think that's the thing that sets her apart, is her longevity, her consistency over the years, and not a lot of people, male, female, black, or white, have that right now.
She's gone through so much, and she's learned, and I'm taking all that in, and I'm using it for myself.
And Mary's personal life saw it as well. Mary, now 31, never married and with no children, admitted that on Christmas Eve, she became engaged to Kendu Isaac. Mary explains that it was very old-fashioned. On one knee, it was real. He asked her to marry her, and she said yes. He's a blessing in her life, she goes on to explain, just constantly on her like a mother or something. But it's good stuff, not negative, and it's not bad. It's aggravating, but so is your mother. But your mother loves you. Mary collaborated with Ja Rule on the hot single Rainy Days.
Yeah, I've heard it.
And hit the top 40 with it. She also re-signed with Mac AIDS Fund, this time alongside Elton John and Shirley Mason. Mary performed on VH1 Divas 2002, Divas in Las Vegas, and was chosen one of VH1's sexiest artists. And to finish out the year right, she performed on the Brown Sugar soundtrack and the Deliverers from Eva soundtrack. Another very good year for Mary. Testimony that living right certainly has its payoffs. Mary opened 2003 with the win, an American Music Award for Favorite Hip-Hop R&B Female Artist. Then in February, she won a Grammy Award for Best Female R&B Performance for He Think I Don't Know. She also had her first lawsuit, a $10 million lawsuit filed by Kayama Griffin and Floyd Howard, who claims they were never paid royalties for 5 songs they produced and wrote for Mary. The trial date has not yet been set, and Mary has made no comment. The summer belonged to Mary once again. In July, Mary could be heard singing Didn't Mean on the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack, and in August, Mary's latest LP, Love and Life, was released, and by September, it topped the Billboard 200 albums chart. It sold over 286,000 copies in its first week. Mary reunited with Diddy as her executive producer, igniting a fire we haven't seen since My Life. Diddy has not changed at all. He's still the same P. Diddy, and he's grown up, and I've grown up a lot, she explains. They didn't miss a beat in the studio. It's like separately, we have actually gotten better over the years. Love and Life has gotten some additional help from Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Method Man. By October, it was certified platinum. Mary also performed on her idol Aretha Franklin's album, So Damn Happy, and appeared on Sting's album, Sacred Love, on the track, Whenever I Say Your Name. Mary even ended 2003 with a win, secretly marrying Kendu Isaac in a hush-hush ceremony on December 7th. Just 50 guests attended, none of them A-listers, at Blige's Bergen County, New Jersey home. We already know Mary J. is nominated for 3 Grammys in 2004, and there'll surely be lots more where that came from. Now, Mary J. Blige has come a long way and learned a lot along the way. She's a role model for all of us, and a blessing to behold on stage and off. Mary J. Blige holds the reigning title of Queen of Hip Hop Soul. Yo, Mary J, do your thing, mama, and make sure you stay bringing that fire. Keep it coming, Mary.